Hi there. Welcome to the Raven's Call. I'm Eric Wordweaver Sjerven, Gothi of the Ridgar Folk here in East Texas, and I would like to welcome you to my show. This is a show where I ramble on about different heathen-related subjects, just kind of whatever strikes my mind at the time, catches my fancy, sets the old brain on fire. And this is where I kind of just ramble it all out to you guys, and hopefully you enjoy it. I don't know, the viewer numbers seem to be pretty good, so we keep doing them. So before we get started, guys, let's take care of some of the housekeeping. If you guys like what you see, please hit subscribe, ding the bell, stay up to date. The more you interact with my videos, the more like them you will see, the more will pop up in your feed, okay? Contact information is all down below. Please comment. I love feedback. I try to get back to it as best I can. There are limitations, but feel free to give me some feedback. I always enjoy it. Join the Facebook page at Wordweaver Productions. That's Word-Weaver Productions on Facebook. Give it a search. You'll find it. I add everybody, so it's good. All right, so one more piece of housekeeping, guys. I don't know if you guys have been up to date on this. I know I put a video up on it not too long ago, but I can't guarantee that everybody looked at it. My book is up. It's up on Amazon.com and on the Kindle ebook shop. So check it out. I know a lot of you people were interested in what I had going on as far as the book goes. You've been following the story of Bjorn Thorolfson on my Weaving Words page, channel, whatever you want to call it. And it's been a labor of love. It's been a long time that I've been working on this particular story, and I'm super excited to get it out there so that people can read it. Some people have already ordered, some people have gotten the ebook, some have gotten the paperback, and my own author copies are coming in like after everybody else's copies. It's ridiculous. I've got people who are sending me pictures and they've got like the book in their hands, and I'm like, I don't have mine yet. And I ordered them like before I told anybody that it was out. So I don't know why the author copies come later, but it's a thing. So mine should hit me somewhere here. By the time this is up on the air, I should already have them. I film these like a week or two in advance sometimes. So anyway, so if you guys want to check it out, I don't ask for money on the channel. I don't monetize my videos. I don't run Patreon or anything like that, because that's not why I do these videos. I do these videos to share out, to be a part of the community, and to help people, to teach. I like to teach. It's an outlet for me, so I get as much out of it doing them as you guys get from watching them. So like I said, I don't get on the channel and beg for money. I don't e-beg and stuff like that. But if you guys do want to support the channel, the book is an avenue to do it. I've got it out there in those multiple formats. Heck, if you're on Kindle Unlimited, I have been told that I get paid like per page that's read or viewed on Kindle Unlimited when you get on there. And even if you don't want to read it all, if you just kind of want to support the channel and you don't feel like reading the book, you can pull it up on there and just flip through all the pages. I get paid per page, so that's a way. Anyway, so that's an avenue. Mostly, I just want people to enjoy the story. I want you to see it. Yeah, I want you to read it. I want you to experience it, and then let me know what you think. This is my first book like this that I've been published in other fashions, but my first one like this to put out. And so I'm kind of really excited and yet kind of nervous at the same time. So feedback is more than welcome. And if you guys appreciate it and like it, I will probably explore the possibility of doing something a little bit longer form later on, something a little more grand. I don't know, we'll see. Depends entirely on how this is received, and I think I've sold like 7 copies in a week, so I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, on with the episode, guys. Today we're going to talk about Gefrain. Now, I don't know if any of you have followed Midgard Musings. Jesse Stillwagon over there does some great videos and everything. He did a video on Gefrain not too long ago, why it's important. Does our reputation really matter? And I loved his video. It was good. It was very good. And I always like Jesse's stuff. So if you guys haven't checked out his channel yet, I highly recommend it. Jesse's a cool guy. He's been doing it for like 4 or 5 years now or something like that. He's been a heathen. I've lost count, he said in one of his videos. But anyway, he's still kind of exploring his way in some areas. In other ways, he really, really gets it. He's got a good head on his shoulders, so it's worth checking out. He has some very interesting insights, and I kind of like the guy. He's neat. So check it out. Enjoy his channel. But one of his more recent videos was on the subject of Gefrain. By the time this comes out, it will have been 2 or 3 videos ago. And I told him in the comments, I was like, dude, I was going to sit here and do a video on Gefrain, and you beat me to the punch. And he's like, well, I'd still love to hear your input. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I'll go ahead and do it. So Forgive the redundancy's sake if you follow both, but it's just kind of my take. Gefrain. All right. Now, Gefrain is a term that I'm kind of edgy on using sometimes. I use it in my personal vernacular because it's my hall, it's my call. I will use whatever terminology I so choose. Most of my terminology is of the Norse Icelandic bend. Gefrain comes more from the Anglo-Saxon, like Old English root. But the concept is something that strikes home and something that I see to be true in the world, and therefore is a concept that I use within my worldview. Gefrain is, for lack of a better term, your reputation. But it's not that simple. It's not as simple as, this guy's got a reputation for being a good man. Gefrain is more than a reputation, because reputation is what people say about you that goes forward. All right? Gefrain is different. Gefrain is proven. Gefrain is earned. It is an actual currency. It's an actual medium, kind of like luck. And there's a whole series of kind of how this works within the social construct and how it ties in to the spiritual side of things. We're going to jump off in that here in a minute, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. The idea is that, yes, Gefrain does encompass your reputation, but what Gefrain is you're standing within a societal contract, and it's an earned position. People look at your deeds, they look at your actions, and this is what you are. They look at you and say, all right, this guy is a good guy, or this guy is a bad guy, or this lady is an amazing woman, or she is somebody not to be trusted, things like that. And it's purchased through deed and action. Again, I'll come back to that here in a second. But essentially, you've got your Gefrain, which is your standing, your status within society, and then your reputation is kind of this aura around it. People that know you have Gefrain with. People that you've exchanged weird with, people that you've interacted with, you have Gefrain with, because this is real interaction. They know you, and through experience know you to be this way. Your reputation precedes you. It is the vanguard. If your Gefrain is your presence on the battlefield, the vanguard, the scouts that run out in front of you on the battlefield, that's your reputation. That radiates from your Gefrain. You step out into the field and these people know you to be this because they are good, strong people. Other people know these good, strong people that think you are a good, strong person, and therefore they trust their judgment of you, and your reputation radiates out. The Gefrain that you have built is with those individuals that actually know you. Now let's explore that here just a little bit, okay? I'm trying to keep my thoughts together. I actually wrote some stuff down. You guys know I don't do that very often, but I wanted to make sure I kept my train of thought right and that I didn't skip any steps, okay? So, essentially, we've talked before about worth. We've talked about luck. We've talked about all of these different elements, and they all play in together. You guys hear me do these callbacks, these throwbacks to explain, you need to go back and watch this video to get the context for this. All of that. Everything comes full circle. There's a reason I use the term worldview for heathenry, and I know that's kind of taboo in the modern age because some people want to focus on the religion side of things, some people want to focus on the cultural side of things. It is a view of the world. It is a different way of looking at reality and seeing things from a heathen perspective as opposed to, some of the things that we were brought up with, taught, or indoctrinated with, depending on your region, your area, and your influences. It takes it takes rerouting the brain in a lot of ways. So this is, and I realized that I just held up a piece of paper a couple of seconds ago, and the people that are listening to this on the podcast are going, what in the world is he going on about? Anyway, so the reason that I call attention to all of this is because it is a complex system. It's not just necessarily a straightforward, hey, good guy, good Gefrain kind of thing. It actually builds on a system, okay? Now, we've talked about luck specifically, and we know that luck is multi-part, but you have a pool of luck within you, this spiritual power, this standing within weird, your inner strength, and this pool of spiritual power is what you use to enact deed, to fuel actions. Actions that are fueled with luck tend to be stronger, better serving to weird. Your luck is fueled by the filia, as far as ties to your familial luck. Tribe, as far as, from the gods and goddesses, ritual, things like that. Sharing luck through a tribe, the seed of luck. Go back and watch my seed of luck video to see that. Through your rituals, the gift of luck from the gods. Gifts to the ancestors, again, through the filia, you get that aspect. The hamina, if you happen to be tied to the luck of a clan, and you happen to be in the seat of luck for the clan, and the hamina comes and sits. There's different levels, and then on top of it all, there's your actions and your deeds that build your luck. Good actions build good luck. Bad actions drain your luck. Actions that expend luck needlessly without feeding back in. Bad investments will drain the store of luck. So, as you go through and you use your luck in doing good deeds, you build your luck, but you also utilize it in these actions to do good deeds, to bring good things about. You build this vision of yourself as someone who does good, who can be trusted, and you prove your worth within the social construct. You earn your worth through action and deed that are fueled by luck. From luck to deed to worth. Worth is a recognized status within the social construct. It is a recognition of what you bring to the board, a recognition of your capabilities, of your value to the community. When we say worth, it is worth to the social construct. What are you worth to that social construct? Someone who brings a lot to bear in some fashion that is beneficial to the construct is of great value to the construct. They are of great worth to the construct. And that's what you've got. You've got a person that can be trusted on and depended upon. Then that is a person of value. That's a person of worth that you need in this infrastructure. If you've got a person that brings to bear great skills in artisanry, there is worth and value in that. You have a person who becomes a stronger leader through undergoing trials and tribulations and things like that. Worth there. Worth is purchased, or earned rather, not really purchased because it's not an exchange, but it is earned through the application of deed, which is the application of luck into action. So, your worth within society then dictates your Gefrain. Gefrain is purchased with worth, so to speak. It's earned with worth. It's a correlate to worth. Your Gefrain is essentially a manifestation on a societal level of your worth to the society and their recognition thereof. Okay? It is, if you take your worth, which is their recognition of your value to the society, that's worth. Boom. And you give it form, that is your Gefrain. When you step into a ring, when you step into a circle of people, and everyone in there looks at you and goes, this is someone we rely on, this is someone we trust, this is someone that we know to be a good person, that is your Gefrain at work. When you have worked hard, when you have shown yourself to be a good person, when you have gone and above and beyond and really have just done what you can to build a name for yourself, to make your presence known when you step out, you've been building Gefrain. That's what Gefrain boils down to, is that it's that manifestation of the recognition of your worth. Okay? I know it's kind of convoluted, but it all makes sense in my head. It is because it is that, it is specifically with the individuals with whom you interact, because they are the ones from whom you purchase your Gefrain. They're the ones that you do the time with, that you do the good things for, that you help out. Reputation precedes Gefrain, but your Gefrain is a relationship with an individual. When you step out, it's kind of like Frith, but not as formalized and not with the level of obligation. Gefrain is more just a general positive regard, but is still an interpersonal kind of recognition relationship thing going on here. So let's say you go out and you help somebody move. You help them lug their furniture and things like that. You build Gefrain with this person. You prove to them that you're a good person. You show them your worth, which is already known to your social construct, but you build worth. See, you build frith within your own social construct, which is engaged with obligation, things like that. But you build Gefrain outside the fence. You build Gefrain beyond the wall. It is an intertribal, an interpersonal thing, but it's not something that I typically apply to the inner yard, because you're working on a different level with the inner yard, okay? I specify that because my further examples don't make any sense if it's family. You know, if my dad calls me up and says, hey, I need you to move something for me, I'm coming because frith obliges me to do so. If I am available, if I can, then I do, because he's my father and I respect him, and I have that frith obligation to him, right? So I'm not going to let... I want to help him. That's where that frith obligations are different. I want to fulfill that obligation, to show my honor, to show my respect. It's different than like a tyrannical kind of obligation, wherein you don't want to fulfill it, but you do because you feel like you have to. At least when it's working right. Anyway, back to Gefrain. I would not call my relationship with my dad Gefrain building. I would call it frith building. And see, that's a thing that I see people mistake when they get out in the world and they go from tribe to tribe visiting, or they go to meetup visiting. A lot of times what they'll say is, hey, I'm going frith building. I want to go share frith. You're not sharing frith with these individuals. You're not building frith with these individuals. You are, however, establishing Gefrain. And that's good. That's fine. Because if you establish Gefrain for your group, for yourself, that serves you better in the future. Okay? Back to my example. If you go out and help somebody move in the middle of the night, they call you up, hey, I've got an emergency. I really need you to come out and help me move some stuff. Can you do it? It's an inconvenience. It's a thing that requires some modicum of sacrifice, of going out of your way, or at least exerting some effort. So it has value. It's an action of value. And so you do so. You say, sure, I don't have to do this. I'm not obliged to do this, but I will do this because this is the kind of person that I am. And it's not like you're going to rationalize all that through your head. You're just going to go, yeah, I'm on my way, because that's just the kind of person you are. So you go on and you help this person, right? This person then looks to you and goes, this is a guy that will help you out in a situation because he's there when he needs you. Or, this lady will be there for you when you need her. That kind of thing, all right? You have proven to them that you are a reliable individual, or that, this is just kind of the person that you are. If you are a good leader and you step up and you prove yourself by leading little groups or stepping up and helping to organize things and exhibiting leadership skills, people will begin to recognize you as a leader and then look to you for leader type things when those arise. So that's purchased value through deed and action. That is your worth, which then is manifested by your status within society. And it's specifically with Gefrain, it's the intertribal kind of thing, the interpersonal, not as far as the inner yard, Innengath kind of thing. So, like for example, I spent some time back in the days. A lot of you guys that are watching this may have been part of the old LATP crowd, Lightning Across the Plains. I really wish something like that was still a thing. For those of you who don't know, Lightning Across the Plains was hosted by Jotun's Kindred over in Kansas, and it was an absolutely fantastic event. These guys went above and beyond. I don't even know how they held it together, but it was through the help and support of other tribes and kindreds within the Midwest. Man, they put on a heck of a humdinger. It was fantastic. It was wonderful. And it was so neat because for like an entire weekend, you were in Heathenville, USA. It was normal to be heathen. Being anything else was abnormal at that point. If a Christian was there, they would have been the outsider as opposed to the heathen which we're used to being the outsiders in our general communities because there's just not that many of us. But when you got 250 heathens on a hill and there's nobody else there, it's a neat thing. But anyway, the point that I'm making here is that I got to see firsthand Gefrain being built in action between heathens who were aware of what was going on, who are aware of the situation, and they're not using it for Machiavellian purposes. They're not using it for manipulative purposes. No, it's just how it works. It's just how it works. You could see people who, this tribe would do something for this tribe, and then this tribe would need help later on, and this tribe would send someone over there because they know this person's good and strong and true, and they want to build a relationship with them because there's value in that relationship. Strong Gefrain means people want to build a relationship with you. They want to be in your circle, or they recognize your value and want to benefit from it in some way, shape, form, or fashion. That is good, strong Gefrain. Poor Gefrain, damaged Gefrain, is when you step in and nobody wants to trust you. Nobody wants to be away from you, be around you. They want to be away from you because they know you to be toxic. They know you to be unwelcome. Gefrain sort of serves like a magnetizing effect. Good, strong Gefrain will pull people to you. Weak Gefrain or damaged Gefrain will push people away. And that is just kind of a metaphor. It's not exactly how it works, but it's kind of an element to it. The stronger you are with that, the more Gefrain you build between people, the more other people will want to build Gefrain with you. That's just kind of how society works as a whole. So it's this specific phenomena, and I got to see it in action. It was so cool to watch different tribes interact, to see them do for each other, to be a part of that, to be engaged in that Gefrain building, to have Gefrain built throughout the Midwest, and then later on to be able to see it in action. Like, there were times later on where I needed contacts for someone that was in my area, and because I have strong Gefrain with some of my other friends up in the Midwest area, I could give a call or an email or a Facebook message or whatever and say, hey, I need some help. Can you lend this person some help, point them in a direction? Or, hey, I've got a viewer that's in your neck of the woods. Can you give me some resources where I can send them that way? Because I have good Gefrain, I don't have to waste time building a relationship with this person. I already have it. It's already there. They know me. They know who I am. And they'll answer me. You know, I've got people like that all throughout the Midwest, all throughout the U.S., even some overseas. And it's really, really neat when you recognize what's at play, the elements from a societal level, from a psychological level, from a spiritual level, because it's all mixed in. It's all one big web of stuff that creates your Gefrain. And can you see that it's more than just your reputation? You know, the person that talks to this individual is, they're getting your reputation, you know. Your Gefrain is what is known. The legend of your reputation builds beyond the Gefrain. If you have a good reputation, that's because you have good Gefrain built, and it radiates out. You know, you have proven to these people that you are good, you're strong, you're true. And so they tell other people tell other people, and so there's this kind of glow of positive regard around your area of influence. If your area of influence, if you are a negative influence in that area of influence, then the radiating color is going to be much darker, and it's going to be a shadow as opposed to a light kind of thing, and it will be bad Gefrain, bad reputation outside of bad Gefrain. You know? I'm pulling on my cable here. Hold on. Let me make sure that stops bouncing. So that is kind of the gist of how that runs, okay? It's not a simple thing. It's not a straightforward thing. But it definitely it's got its nuances and its benefits and its limitations, okay? Because I pointed out that Gefrain does not encompass the same level of obligation that Frith does, there is sometimes a mistaken idea that because you are friends with someone, that's a term that's been lost in translation throughout the years as far as where and on what level friend means. We need about 20,000 different words to describe our levels of friendship, because levels of friendship dictate levels of obligation. So someone with whom you have positive Gefrain, all right? Let's say this is an individual that you helped move, right? You helped carry some stuff. You helped them to go from one location to another. You did a good bit of work, and you went the whole, helped them load the truck and went with them to help unload the truck. You did a good bit for this person. And so you really proved your worth. You really proved what you had going on. You've engaged in a gift exchange of sorts with this individual as far as effort goes. So there's a slight obligation built there that, say, if you were to come to them and then ask them at a later date to help you move, there's a mild obligation, a mild kind of gift debt sort of element going on, but it is not like a frith level. If they can't make it, okay. It's like there's not a strong, okay, let me go back, wind it back some. If you guys have watched my Storm Riders video, you know that Twyla and I were hit by a tornado several years back. And when I put the call out to those that I needed to help us move, people showed up. People showed up in droves. And there were levels of obligation and expectation, Frith, of course, absorbs a great deal as far as, whether you can or can't be there. But the closer to the center you are, the more into Frith you are, the more of an obligation there is for you to help. So, it was just expected that some of those people with whom I shared Frith were going to be there, because that was kind of part of a reciprocal obligation kind of thing. You get further out into the ones with whom I share Gefrain, a kind of a friendly status, it's less obligation and more they just kind of want to be there. They wanted to come and help because that's the kind of people they are, further building their Gefrain with me. So Gefrain is sort of like a friendship, but friendship is in and of itself a positive relationship, and Gefrain is in and of itself kind of a spectrum of relationship values, and therefore I don't necessarily apply just the positive to it, because there is kind of a negative element of Gefrain. It's more about your regard. So anyway, Gefrain does not come with the level of obligation that Frith does, all right? Frith has an obligation that is intrinsic to its nature. Grith has an obligation that is set out by societal norm and contract. It's agreed upon that you are obliged to behave in this fashion and to observe the peace in this Grithstead. You are obliged by the code of law kind of thing. The rules of the temporary stead, this is boom. Grithstead, you are obliged to abide by these rules. If you do not abide by these rules, you're out, kind of thing. Gefrain is a completely different kind of deal. It's not completely different, but Gefrain is a different kind of deal in that the obligation is much smaller, but there is some give and take of obligation. It's the gift debt between tribes, between individuals. If you damage let's say you don't fulfill on your gift debt. Say that, you go out and or someone doesn't, okay, somebody else doesn't make good on their end of the Gefrain deal, all right? You go out and you help somebody, you help them move, and you go above and beyond and sacrifice a lot. And then you have a situation that doesn't call for nearly as much, but you really need this person. And so you put a call out to them, hey, come here, I need your help. And they back out on it, or they say they will and then they don't do it. They damage the Gefrain. They damage their Gefrain with you. Your perceived assessment of their worth and value. So it's a give and take kind of thing. Things can build it, things can damage it, but ultimately speaking, it is a manifestation of your worth, which is earned through deed and action, which is fueled by luck. And so that's kind of Gefrain. Trying to make sure that I didn't, one wields, see, I've got notes down here. One wields luck to win worth and purchase Gefrain. Not exactly how it works, but it's essentially kind of there. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it's rambling, I know it's all over the place, but essentially, I kind of look at Gefrain from a little bit different take than some people. And also hardcore recons for whom this term is like part of their main vernacular, or that may use it in different nuanced ways. I mean, not my hall, not my call. I am not a hardcore recon. We know this. I say it all the time. I meant to say it at the top of the episode, but sometimes I miss it. I was excited about the book. I'm not a hardcore recon, so I don't approach things from that hard a stance. I'm a weird middle of the road kind of guy. I'm hardcore on some things, and other things I'm a little more lax on. It's weird. Middle of the road, very much so. And so I have no problem using this term because this term applies in the context that I have just explained it to you. When I say Gefrain, that's what I mean. Other people may mean something different, so it's important to pay attention to the context and to see what they mean when they're talking about it. If I tell you that, I have good Gefrain with someone, then I am talking about I have proven myself with this person, they recognize my worth, and I have a certain amount of pull with these people, a certain magnetism, a certain, tie that will buy me a certain amount of sway. Because that's it. Gefrain is, it's almost like credit. You can step in, and because you've got good, strong Gefrain, you can kind of get some support from people. And then the big thing is you just have to make good on your part of it later on. So it's kind of like a social credit card. The more you earn credit, the stronger your credit is. And so, you use the little bit that you have to build it up, get a higher credit limit. And then as long as you make good on your payments back, then that continues to build, and the power that you can wield through it continues to grow. That's a lot better metaphor than I thought it was going to be. So Gefrain is kind of like a social credit card. The more you build it, the more you can do with it. So there you go, guys. Before I ramble on anymore and get kind of out there and in weird places, I really hope people made it all the way to the end of the video to get that particular metaphor. I kind of wish I had come up with that earlier in the video. That would have kind of rerouted things a little bit and been, I think, a bit of soundbite earlier on. So anyway, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Make sure you check out my book, all the contact information. You know the deal. I'm not going to belabor the point. Thank you. Thank you for your support. The more you guys watch and support these videos, the more I'm going to do and put out there. So, hail, thank you, may your hearth fires burn bright. Oof da, get the camera right. Maybe. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Alright, so. Alright. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, I know, like joints. It's really it. Man, the glare off that sun is ridiculous. Now I'm reminded why I film in the afternoons sometimes during the summer. It's ridiculous. Get the camera set up, because that's what we do. Do 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 do. Alright, now let's get squared away, simplified, and we're gonna hit Gefrain in 3, 2, 1. Let's jam.